See, life is much different when you get past 6'3", 6'4", 6'5". Life is a little different. You gotta be war ready. You must be at all times. Mental downloads, yes. Sister of Judah, that is correct. That is precisely what it is. Mental downloads. I usually read. I read books. I watch documentaries no less than 5 times. Documentaries no less than 5 times to learn every word verbatim, word for word, word for word. Then once you learn it verbatim, word for word in the documentary, then you can study those words and you can break down everything, connect everything so that you understand everything. Read a book no less than 3 times. Learn it. Define every word that you don't understand. Use a dictionary. Then make sure you have a derivation dictionary. Look up where the word originally came from. Look up the etymology of the word, which is how the word changes in its meaning over time. It's a lot of levels to intellect, man. It's a lot of levels to intelligence. A lot of levels to gaining and acquiring knowledge. Not simply knowledge, but knowledge and intelligence have 2 different, distinct separations. Knowledge is having information. That's one thing. Intellect is the ability to utilize and use the information that you have acquired. So a person who is intelligent is someone who can pose, predict, and solve problems in the future. A knowledgeable person simply has information. An intelligent person knows how to use the information to have the greatest optimum outcome or result. I be feeling like a damn computer sometimes. Oh my God. If you knew how many thoughts are going through my head right now, it would blow your mind. And I'm listening to my sister Sarak right now. Sarak. Her album just dropped yesterday. It's called The Sharecropper's Daughter. Album is dope. She has Black Thought on there. She has Lettucey on there. She has some real dope artists on there dropping high intellectual content. It's powerful. Meme, how can you get a copy of my book? Link in the bio. You said, how can you get a copy? Link in the bio. Link in the bio. Facts, I believe in all of us, positivity forever. Absolutely, you need to have a level of positivity. That's the balance that we have naturally within our body and our spirit and our mentality. There's a level of opposites, positive and negative, good and bad, yin and yang. You must access your balance and find that perfect medium. The sapios in here are in serious trouble. Cis, the light, sapios, referring to sapiosexuals or sapiophiles, people who become attracted to intelligence and or intellect. I understand. That's a definite. Intelligence is very, very, very attractive. It's the most attractive for me. Spirituality and intelligence. Highly attractive. Tuned in. She's new. Now, I'm not going to go on a run right now, but I will be reading a little bit, and I'm going to work out in the morning. Red Breed Mike, what's your question, my brother? What is my IQ? I don't know. My intelligence quotient. I don't know. Co-founded, from my understanding, by Alfred Binet of the Binet scales. Wilhelm Stern, psychiatrist, psychologist. The IQ, intelligence quotient, was utilized in Nazi Germany to determine who should live and who should die. The IQ test was actually a test or tool that was used by white people to justify the murder of black, brown, poor, handicapped people, or those who they felt were intellectually inferior, as a part of the eugenics movement, primarily the American eugenics movement, and then the eugenics society internationally. So I wouldn't necessarily ask me or anybody what my IQ is, because you may not realize it, but you're trying to qualify whether I should live or die or not. That's what they would ask people back then. What is your IQ? That's crazy. What am I smoking? High levels of intelligence and ether. I would say oxygen mixed with a little bit of carbon, mixed with some knowledge from books. I'm high all the time. Every time I take a deep breath, I get high. Every time I drink water, I get high. Every time I listen to lectures, every time I listen to documentaries, I'm getting high and drunk on intellect all day. Every time I pray, I'm getting high spiritually. I'm high all the time. Just so you know, I'm high all the time. Not artificially though. I'm good on that. I'm good on the artificial high. I'm good on the artificial drunk inness that the system gave us to keep us docile and weak and mentally malleable and manipulated, and I'm good on all that. I'm high all the time. Always high. When y'all hear me talking so fast, I'm high. I'm high as hell. I am intellectually, spiritually high. Constantly. That's a definite. Do I puff any herb? I stopped smoking weed by the time I was 9 years old. Born and raised in Compton, California. I started smoking weed at 8 in Compton. Finished smoking weed at 9 years old. I'm the youngest of 10 children. Was done with that. Had a little bit of alcohol. Was done drinking alcohol by the time I was 10. I finished early, started early, finished early. Done deal. Most people in our generation who's smoking now, y'all late. So, do y'all thing, man. That's why I'm saying I'm good on the weed, man. I'm good on it. I don't need something like that to make me relax. Smoking it is not natural, by the way. Putting fire to it creates a high level of phenols. It releases a feminizing chemical. Phenols, an estrogen-like chemical. You're not supposed to put fire to it, but again, you know, do your thing. I'm not judging. You already know I love y'all, so it's not about that. But I definitely don't smoke because this system can only control docile, weak Negroes. And one way that they control us is by making sure that we stay artificially high and artificially drunk. I can't let this enemy control me like that. I can't do that. I choose not to. Do you have family or friends that are on your level? That's a very good question. I don't know. I mean, I would consider my family to be very intelligent. My mother is a naturopathic doctor. She's the one who started me on my level of consciousness. Seriously. She started me on my path to consciousness and awareness. I mean, I was born and raised a Muslim in the Nation of Islam. So, I was never indoctrinated in the system of white supremacy. So I never looked at Christopher Columbus and Santa Claus, and that was never my mentality ever. So most of my family, I would say, is extremely intelligent, very militant, knowledgeable about history, science, mathematics. They know who God is. They know. Yeah, I'm good. We were known as the Islams in Compton. We were the only Muslim family, like big whole Muslim family in Compton. I grew up on 525 West Tichenor in Compton, California, Richland Farms, in the farms part of Compton. So my family is very intelligent. Very. 4 brothers, 5 sisters. 5 and 5. Do I have any degrees? No, I do not. I intentionally did not graduate from college. No. I didn't graduate from college intentionally. I could have graduated from college. The college that I went to was Compton College. I did not want to have another name next to my name. I didn't want my name to be attached to UCLA, USC, none of those. I wanted to graduate from Compton College. I was very prideful about that. The more I learned, the more I understood that it's not for me. The more I learned about all of it. So, no. I have no degrees, but I have agrees. Not degrees, but agrees with my people. I am what's called an autodidactic. Autodidactic. autodidactic, meaning a self-taught, self-learned person without any, I would say not in this case, but without most formal education. The majority of my education is from being self-taught, self-learned, independent studied, independent researched. So autodidactic is what I am, is what you would refer to me as. Independent researcher, independent thinker, independent study. I couldn't stand being in college. Too many things made no sense to me, and when I questioned them, they made me feel as if I was wrong for questioning. I remember this white teacher, Caucasian white teacher, English class. She was 22 years old, and she bragged about her father being a police officer, and that if any one of us had anything negative to say to her, she would simply call her father. Compton College. I remember this. I was like, this woman is very arrogant. That's right, World Literacy Days. Who was that? Potency. You already know. World Literacy. You know what it is. You already know what it is. I had this white teacher. As I said, she was a young white girl, blue eyes, blonde hair, working at Compton College. And she was one of the worst teachers I've ever had. But she would brag about her father being a police officer, so that if anything, any one of us had anything to say, she would just call her father. That made me want to walk out the class automatically. But then as she was teaching more and more and more, it absolutely validated my reasoning and my feelings in wanting to leave that damn class. Because in college, she was indoctrinating us yet again into the system of white supremacy. It was sickening, man. It was retarded. Chapter 4 of my book, The College Educated versus the Autodidactic. Boom. That chapter is in here. The college educated versus the autodidactic. Now, I put this in there for those of you who would ask that exact question. Rizza, do you have any degrees? Not at all. That is no shade on anyone who does have degrees. If you have a degree, beautiful. Beautiful. If you don't have degrees, that's fine. If you don't have degrees, that's fine. If you do have degrees, that's fine. But don't make it seem as though just because you have degrees that you are inherently more intelligent. Don't do that. I've proven a lot of people wrong who have degrees. We all have to be humble. I have a lot to learn just like you have a lot to learn. So don't walk around just because you have your master's name next to yours that you are more intelligent than the other average person. I know brothers who came out of prison more intelligent than people with degrees. So don't ever do that. Chapter 4. The college educated versus the autodidactic. All right. Link in the bio, link in the bio, link in the bio. Peace to my family in the Netherlands. How come the nation's not in Africa? We are in Africa. We have mosques in Ghana, mosques in the Congo, mosques in South Africa, mosques, I believe, in Zimbabwe. We're all over the world. Did I go to public school or grade school? No. I went to Winnie Mandela Children's Institute. Then I went to Fort Irwin Middle School on an army base in between California and Nevada, and right between Barstow and Nevada. Fort Irwin, an army base for middle school. Came back. I went to Opportunities for Learning Charter School, independent studies, because I was working a full-time job 9 to 6, starting at the age of 12. So I had a full-time job helping my people 9 to 6, Monday through Friday, from the age of 12 all the way up. So therefore, I never really was in public school like that until I got to college. Somebody said you privileged. Nah. Please don't get that twisted. Hold up. Do not get that twisted. No. Winnie Mandela Children's Institute. It was an African-centered school right across the street from my house, and I was late every day to school. Every day I was late. Peace to my brothers and sisters over in the United Kingdom. I see you. I was late every day. School was across the street. And as I said, it was called Winnie Mandela Children's Institute. So it was African-centered. I learned African morals, Kwanzaa, all of that, even though Kwanzaa wasn't established in Africa, the principles and tenets upon which Kwanzaa describes to is heavily centered in African culture and in our cultures as original people. So, Umoja, unity, Kujichagulia, self-determination, Ujima, collective work and responsibility, Ujama, cooperative economics, Nia, purpose, Kuumba, creativity, Imani, faith, all of that. I learned about all of our African leaders as a child. As I said, I was born in the Nation of Islam, so I went to Sister Clara Muhammad School when I was very young, I think 3 or 4 years old. So I was never indoctrinated into the system of white supremacy. My mind was never taken over by the white man, you could say, entirely, ever. Yes, in Swahili. So I really, my mom kept me that way. My family kept me African-centered, kept me centered as an original man, as original people. So I hated this system. I've always hated this system. I've never wanted to be a part of it, ever. I hated it. My name is Islam from birth. That's my literal last name. Of course, I learned some of the principles of Ma'at. Of course. I'm learning more of that because my son is not celebrating Christmas. Again, Kwanzaa is for us beautiful. You could get all the chicks. Really funny. Just because it wasn't a white school doesn't mean it wasn't privileged. I think you may have a misunderstanding on what privileged is. My school was in Compton, California. Far from privileged. My mother was working hard, raising all 10 of us by herself. Not privileged. The school was black-centered, African-centered. It was ran by black women. Black families and black women. So it wasn't that we were privileged. I was on food stamps just like everybody else. We were on food stamps when food stamps looked like Chinese money. So we was not privileged. Don't get it twisted. Please don't get it twisted. My school was, I never went to school in no white suburbs, Beverly Hills. I was in Compton. That's where I was at, period. And we was on food stamps and all the different programs, the government assistance. We was on all that. All of that. Just want to make sure we understand. My mother worked hard as hell to raise us by herself. That's all I got to tell you on that one. She worked hard. My oldest sister ended up on Skid Row on crack cocaine for 16 years. My oldest sister. My oldest brother was murdered by his own friend over a crack deal. Second oldest brother ended up in jail for 8 years. Third oldest brother was never really home. And then, of course, the second to youngest, I'm the youngest, but the one right above me, my brother Yaya, ended up in jail, I believe, for 6 or 7 years. Stepfather, who brought us into Islam, he ended up in jail for, I believe, 12 years. I was far from privileged, man. Far from it. Like, far from it. Matter of fact, there's a documentary that's done, and they got my life story. It's going to come out in a couple months, where they brought me, I was over there in Compton, and I was over in certain areas. They came down and asked me all these questions. How did I grow up? How was life? Gang banging and drugs in my life, and what, how was I raised? I don't really tell people too much about all that, but you really might want to know and understand why I'm so militant, why I love our people so hard. Like, you really might want to understand where it comes from. It's much deeper. I didn't start on social media with all this nonsense. My mentality existed before Instagram, before Facebook, before Twitter, before Snapchat, before any of these social media platforms. My mentality existed like this. Black man, original man, loving a black woman. Period. That's what it was. It's always been that way. I've never not been on that mentality, ever. I've always hated the system. Always. I grew up watching Roots. If you would like to get me on your podcast, sure. Let me put up the email if you would like to book me. I will be honored. I'm going to post the booking email here. If any of you have podcasts or shows that you would like for me to be on, that is the email. All right? I'll be honored. If it's a small podcast, I love it. I'm not really into doing the big major platforms as much as I am into doing the smaller platforms, because a lot of the larger platforms, they don't have too much substance. I don't mind doing them, but I'm more into the grassroots, smaller podcasts, man. I'm more into that, building your podcast up. Would you marry a Hispanic woman? No, I would not. Nothing against a Hispanic woman. I'm simply, a black man, and I have a black mother. I was raised with a beautiful black family, and I want to continue that. It doesn't mean that a Hispanic person is going to stain that. It simply means that because I was not able, when I say I'm referring to me as the black man and us as black men, we're not able to love the black woman for so long. And anytime we displayed interest in the black woman, we'd be killed, we'd be murdered, we'd be dismembered, we'd be castrated, they would cut off our testicles, they would do all these things to us whenever we decided to show love to the black woman. So that now that I'm able to fully do that and fully love her, I believe that it is only right to my ancestors that I marry a black woman and have children with that black woman. I have nothing against anyone else. I just simply love my people so deeply to where my loyalty is with this black woman. That's all. Has nothing else to do with any hatred whatsoever. There are beautiful women in every culture. I understand, sure. I absolutely acknowledge that. However, I personally believe that the black woman is my not only preference, but she is the original woman. She is the mother of civilization, and she is the mother of all human beings, including Hispanic. So therefore, it would only be right that I go back to that original. Again, nothing against anyone else. Afro-Latina. Oh, y'all just trying to play around, huh? Black woman, preferably born in America, because she understands exactly what I go through as a black man. That's all. But there are plenty of beautiful Afro-Latina sisters, beautiful just women in all cultures, and that's wonderful. All shades and colors and all that's beautiful. But me personally, that black woman is the one that I would be marrying. Bar none. Bar none, I think it's best that way, I think it's to have that loyalty. I see too many black men say so many negative things about black women that it hurts, but I understand where it comes from. There's too many factors. Of course, didn't get enough love from his own mother. He didn't get love from his father. He wasn't taught how to love by his father to love women. He was never raised by his mother or father, or he was abused by his father, or he was abused by his mother, or he was abused by his grandmother, his grandfather, etc., etc., etc. Too many factors. He's indoctrinated by television, movies, and music videos, and this entire system of white supremacy that pushes white is the epitome of greatness and beauty, and the white woman is the best. The white woman, seek the white woman, go after the white woman, and he's always abused by black women. He's attacked by black women. He's put down and validated by black women, and he rarely, if ever, gets acknowledged and uplifted by black women. So then there's this development of a psyche, this mental circumstance upon which by the time he develops into a man, he develops this hatred towards black women, this resentment towards black women, and the only way to get rid of that is by going with a white woman or someone else of another nationality, when we have to understand that it is our psychological makeup that we need to address. You've got to address your psychology. Don't just run and generalize all black women. That is wrong. That is absolutely the wrongest thing to do. Don't generalize all women, period. That is wrong. You have not met all women. Same thing, sisters, you haven't met all men. You haven't met all black men, so therefore you can't generalize all of us. We can't generalize each other. We can't. That's wrong. I know plenty of amazing black women. As a matter of fact, the vast majority of black women that I've ever met in my life are amazing women. Period. The vast majority of black men that I know are some of the greatest, most powerful, intelligent, strong, loving brothers. Period. I will never go along with this nonsense of bashing my brothers or my sisters. Period. I don't care. You may be somebody's baby's daddy, baby's mama, and they want to bash you and bash all black men, or bash her and bash all black women. No, that's not true. It's not fair. It's not right, and I'm not going to go along with it. I don't care how much you want me to go along with it. That's not the truth. You do not know all black women. You do not know all black men, and therefore you cannot generalize them. You can't talk about them because you don't know all of them. Talk about the one that you made the mistake of being with. For whatever reason, you thought he was the one. You thought she was the one. Y'all laid down. You had children together. It turns out he wasn't the one. She wasn't the one. Fine. Take accountability. Take responsibility. Own up to it. Thank God for the exchange and for the experience. Learn from it. Do better. But don't generalize each other. Don't generalize all black men and women. That ain't right. The black woman is amazing. Period. No one can convince me of that. I really don't care what you got to say. The black man is amazing. I don't care what you got to say. Now, the Negro is a little different. That Negro, a need to grow male. A black male who is still under development. Same thing with a black female who's under development. We are still all under development. So let's not go there, man. Just show more love to each other, please. Be the example. Be humble. That's all. Be the example. Be humble. Sisters, show a better example of what it is to be a black woman. Whether if you call yourself mixed or not or whatever. Just whatever. Just be an example. That's all you got to be. Be an example. Have a level of dignity about yourself. You ain't got to go on social media bashing each other, bashing your baby mama, bashing your baby father, bashing this. You niggas, you know, B words. You're always calling them female dogs. I can't stand that. I just can't stand it either way, man. This enemy hates us both. So why the hell are you hating on each other? Let me take some more questions from y'all. Sorry, I know I went on that rant. Asiatics and Moors. That's real talk. Yeah, it's very hurtful, man, when I hear us talk about each other like that. I get it. I know. A lot of black men have done black women wrong. And that's the truth. A lot of black men have done a lot of black women wrong. This is true. So it's very difficult for a lot of these black women to even believe that a good black man exists. That's true. I understand that. I get it. I can't even lie. I get you. I definitely understand that. And vice versa. A lot of black women have done some black men wrong. And I'm talking about good brothers, good black men. You have. We both have done wrong to one another. And that is absolutely true. And it's something we have to take responsibility for. We got to do that. Brothers, if you've done a woman wrong, or if you've done a few women wrong, you got to call a spade and make it known that you have done that and you have contributed to the stereotype about us all being Negroes, and you have to just make that known, say it, because just to validate that, for women to hear that, for black women to hear that from us, is healing for them. It makes them feel better. That finally, some black men acknowledge that it's true. And that way it will heal them, and then they will start to look at us in a newer light again. And they'll start to find a love for us again. And vice versa. Sisters, you got to admit that you may have been spiteful and did some really spiteful, negative things to a very good man. A very good black man. Like a very good one. You know, and you have to openly admit that and say, you know what, I have done some real messed up things to some good black men, or to one, or whatever. You know? And once you acknowledge that, it feels good. We have to build each other back up. That's all I'm saying. Simple as that, man. You have to build each other up. Because I'll be damned if I'm out here working this hard and y'all keep tearing each other down. And those of us out here doing this work, and then we just turn around and our people keep tearing each other down. This is not how this is going to go. It's really not going to happen like that. When I was in Atlanta, at the at the Foundational Black American Conference, first thing I said when I got on that stage was that there are good black men and good black women, and we must acknowledge each other. Period. I made it real clear in that room. It was over 700 people. And I said, I don't care what any of you got to say. There are amazing black women and amazing black men. This enemy hates us all. All of us. So let's all get on the same page. Period. Point blank. It's very simple. The moment the enemy sees that we are on the same page, they will become afraid. Yes, this is our land. I see you, sister. You said this is our land. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I thank you as well. Bags over clout. I appreciate you for that. Alhamdulillah. Exactly. Sister Baby T. I'm taking questions, y'all. I think I cheated on my ex in 2005, and maybe that's why she took a break in 2006, and I got cheated on twice after that. All right, look. Okay, I'm not even going to call your name, but you know what your name is. I want everybody to hear what I just read. I think I cheated on my ex in 2005, and maybe that's why she took a break in 2006, and I got cheated on twice after that. Well, first of all, thank you for partially acknowledging that. What goes around comes around. That happens. You know? That happens. Good job for acknowledging that. Good job. That's the steps toward healing, man, and changing the behavior. Black men are the only race of men that bash their women. You never hear Asians, Latinos, etc. I have to agree partially. Black men are the only ones that bash their women publicly, for the majority. Publicly. But I know a lot of Mexicans who have sex trafficked their women, their sisters, even their own mother. Asians who have sold their own sisters into sex trafficking cults. Plenty of white folks who have done some horrific things to women. Not only just raped them, but killed them. You know, sold their body parts off. I mean, it happens in every culture. They bash women. Remember, white women had to fight for the right to vote, had to fight for the right to have a job, had to fight for the right to speak in church. Susan B. Anthony, Women's Liberation Movement, Women's Lib, etc. White women needed the help of black women to get stronger numbers to fight against their white man for equality, right? So it's in every culture. But black men are the number one who do it publicly. And that's a problem. Major problem that we have to stop. That's right, no more division. I would like to visit Atlanta. Atlanta is dope. I already apologized and I'm not going to repeat no name. I got you. If you apologize and if you change your behavior, move forward, that's all you got to do. Don't even trip. White man has set us up for failure. Yes, he did set us up for failure, but since we know that, we can change it. When our people realize we are at war, they will move differently. Correct. We are at war. Why do y'all think I'm working out so much and studying so much and fighting for y'all so much and doing everything that we do? Because I recognize that we are at war. You need to get on the same page. Rizza, thank you for not ever speaking negatively about our people in front of others, no matter what personal opinions you might have. Modern day Malcolm, I appreciate that. And I will not, God willing, never speak negatively about black women or black men in the presence of our enemy or in the presence of one another. Period. Do you feel like you intimidate the white man? 6'7", 231 pounds, intellectual, militant, very humble, spiritual, uncompromising, unapologetic about the love for my people, unconditioned, never conditioned under the system of white supremacy, highly outspoken about it. I definitely think I may be intimidating to the white man. I may be. Any of us who are educated black men, I think so. And I like that. I like that. I like being intimidating to evil people. I like being intimidating to wicked people. I like being intimidating to negative people who have negative stereotypes about black men and black people. I love being intimidating. I love being intimidating toward their preconceived false stereotypes. I love being intimidating to them and to that. I love it. I love being able to walk in a room and not, just being honest with you. Walking into a room and destroying every stereotype just by being present without having even said a word. If you are a new FOI in processing, continue to study and do not look for perfection in the brothers, but look in perfection in the teaching. The teaching is perfect. The people are not. So do not base your life based off of other brothers who are striving with you and who are training and studying with you. Do not base your life off of them. Base your life off of the teaching and off of God. People will disappoint you. The teaching is perfect, but the people are not. All right? Ever considered living in Africa? Sure, I've considered it. I'm going to get land out there, God willing. I want to buy land. I have lots of people out there that I want to see and meet, and a lot of places I want to invest in Africa. Right? I'm celibate for 4 years. Would be 5 years in November. Why men are intimidated by me and won't date me after I tell them I'm waiting for marriage. Sugar_brick house. Let me say this to you. First of all, thank you for having a level of dignity and self-respect. Don't ever accept anyone trying to bash you for withholding yourself for the right one. Do that. The only people who are intimidated by you saying that you're going to hold yourself until marriage are Negroes who only want to get what's between your legs, period. If they're not trying to get what is between your temples, but only what is between your legs, then they're not the right one. It's not that they're intimidated by you. It's that their weaknesses are too strong for them to control. And therefore, because their weakness is too strong and overpowering, they cannot be certain and strong around you when your strengths are so strong, if that makes sense. AKA, no need to entertain weak Negroes who don't have an intention to put a ring on it. If you ain't gonna put a ring on it, to the left, to the left. Simple as that. So no, good job, sister. You keep doing what you're doing. Our men about our attitudes, our looks, our hair. Black women have, first of all, let me say this real quick. A loud black woman does not make her a bad black woman. A loud black woman 9 times out of 10 is a confident black woman. A loud black woman 9 times out of 10 is an intelligent black woman. A loud woman, traditionally loud black woman, 9 times out of 10 is a woman who is fed up and tired of being mistreated, abused, taken advantage of by nonsense. If you listen to her long enough, her tone will go from being way up here to down here, and her voice will become soft, and her spirit will become very soft because she's being listened to. Sometimes if you just listen, I'm doing my best to respond to everybody. It's a lot of people commenting. I'm doing my best. Sometimes if you just listen to her, naturally she is submissive to the man because he submits to God. What am I saying? A man who submits to a power bigger than himself, God, and particularly who is doing a righteous thing and living a straight life, who's on his business, on his job, who is a boss, a spiritual tycoon, a brother who is doing the right things. It's hard for her not to want to be a part of that and to help you meet that obligation. She will help you. But when she is so stuck in having to be a man for herself, protect herself, build herself, fight for herself, defend herself all the time, she becomes hard. And her imbalance of testosterone versus estrogen becomes highly pregnant. So she has to start fighting for herself. She got to become more of a man than a woman. So then when she finally gets around other dudes, if your masculinity is not higher than hers, she's going to overpower you because she is looking at you as someone who is weak, and you can't protect her, so therefore she cannot trust you, and therefore she won't feel safe. Now, if you make her feel safe and listened to and trusted and uplifted and maintained and sustained, then she's going to default naturally back into that little girl on the inside. Because she can trust you, and she's safe, and she's protected. Because a real lion is right here. If you a little soft one trying to, baby, why you yelling at me? My nigga, get out of here. Why are you always yelling at me? Understand where it's coming from. That's all. Just understand where it's coming from. Black women are amazing. That's the funny thing. They'll test you. A woman will test you. This is what Minister Farrakhan taught us. Minister Farrakhan taught us, he said, listen, a woman will test you not only to see what you're made of, but to see if she can really trust and feel safe around you. What the hell? She gotta test you. Of course, divorce rates are high. You got a bunch of group of damn people who have been continually manipulated and who have been mutated in their levels of morality because we have been bastardized and birthed into spiritual children under a system of white supremacy. We don't even know how to love. And we jump into relationships thinking we know how to have a relationship when our ability to have relationships was destroyed. So people have good intentions, so they get married, but they were never taught how to be a wife, taught how to be a husband, taught how to love, taught how to listen, taught how to understand, taught how to build relationships, taught how to communicate, taught the science of mating. We were destroyed. Y'all got to understand this. We were destroyed piece by piece, component by component, factor by factor. So by the time you telling somebody, well, divorce rates are 60%, of course they are. This system of white supremacy made it to where they birthed a destined, destroyed relationship. You see somebody who gets married over here every other day on the Shade Room, and then boom, another celebrity relationship is over. Here go Cardi B. Boom, she's about to get a divorce. Everybody, boom, boom, boom. Stop getting married to people when you have not married yourself yet. Get healed first. Get solid first in here. Get whole first up in here. Right here. You put that together. Stop being lonely so damn much and wanting to chase after a man just to fulfill something. And stop chasing after women just to fulfill something. Get solid here. I'm unavailable. Unavailable. Get solid here. That's all I'm going to tell y'all, man. Don't be running around here. Don't push negative when you see positive, especially when it comes to relationships. When you see a good relationship with a good black man, good black woman, promote that the same way you promote all the negative gossip. Gossip about all the good relationships. I know too many black couples who have been married for at least 5 years minimum. Are they perfect? Of course not. Of course not. But are they working and they building? Of course they are. I don't ever promote the, oh, well, relationships ain't lasting over here. For what? For what? Yes, there are lonely married people. Yes, there are people who are with someone, but they feel alone. That's true. But then there are plenty of people who are married and they feel together. They are a team. They are partners. They do amazing work. They do business together. They go everywhere together. They travel together. They heal together. They work out together. They build their family together. Please. Don't focus on all the negative all the time. I want to hear more positive about us. I don't want to believe that the nation of, let me see. Let me just end that really quick. I'm 30 years old. I was born in 1990. So if you bring up Malcolm X's assassination, you look like a damn fool bringing it up to somebody who wasn't born until 1990. So let's end that nonsense. Get your life together. The Nation of Islam is what is responsible for the man that you see here. Nation of Islam made me the man that I am. Period. There's no denying that, and that's all I'm going to say on that. Made Brother Malcolm the man that he was too. This government killed him along with all of our leaders, so let's just end that nonsense. Period, period, period. I really hate when people bring that up. It's insane. It's 2020. Our damn lives are at stake. There's a famine hitting America, so food is short. America's economy is upside down. Where the hell is your money at? Do you own any land? Do you know what the hell is going on with your life? No? Then get it together. Malcolm is gone. Physically. But the principles that he lived his life on are still here. And if you are not living those principles, then don't even open your mouth about Malcolm. People be trying to debate me smoking weed, drinking alcohol, talking about Malcolm X. He would have slapped you. Stop invoking his name. You smoking? Don't say Malcolm. You drinking? Don't say nothing about Malcolm. Hell, you dating white women? Don't say nothing about Malcolm. Detroit Red, before he woke up and he was a nigga and he was a pimp and all that and a drug dealer, yes, he was dating white women. Yes, he was doing all those drugs before that. But when he woke up and became that black man and gained the knowledge of who he was and he really was resurrected mentally by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, he cut out all that stuff. He became a very clean brother. He didn't judge, but he stopped smoking, he stopped drinking, he stopped doing all that. Do you eat 1 meal a day? Like Brother Malcolm did? Stop talking about Malcolm. You smoking? Stop talking about him. You drinking? Stop talking about him. You dating white women? Stop talking about him. You putting down black women? You putting down black women constantly? Always calling black women the B word? Don't say a damn thing about Malcolm. Don't say nothing about him. Period. Anybody who wants to open their mouth and say something about Malcolm to criticize the Nation of Islam, make sure you live in the life that he was living. Make sure you live in the principles. Do you pray 5 times a day? Do you eat 1 meal a day? Do you? Do you uplift the black woman? Do you speak against this system of white supremacy? Do you? No? Then please leave the hypocrisy somewhere else. That argument is moot, meaning it no longer applies. That argument is null and void. It is retarded. It is done for. Leave it alone. It is dead. And anybody else who wants to bring that up, trust me when I tell you this, I've deaded that argument on major platforms and their jaws were dropped because they couldn't believe how I just destroyed that. It's 2020. Knock it off, man. Don't ever sit here and say, oh, I love Rizza Islam, but I don't like the nation. I am a part of the nation. I'm an FOI in the Nation of Islam. What you love about me is what I learned from the nation. What are you talking about? Please knock it off, dude. Don't say you love the fruit, but you don't love the root. You love the fruit, but you don't love the tree that created the fruit. Come on, man. Like, give respect where it's due. Knock it off. And stop fighting on behalf of this damn white man. Pardon me, y'all. I had to just end that because that's really sickening when I hear people still bringing that up. It's like the white man gave you that argument. I hope you understand that. Okay? Just like end that. What about the Nation of Malcolm? What about you in your life? What you doing? Malcolm was over 40 years ago. What are you doing? What you doing now? I just want to figure this out. What are you doing? I know what I'm doing today. I know this enemy hates me today. This enemy hates all of us doing this work. I know that. I know the FBI has been to my house multiple times. I know that. I know I've been locked up before for speaking the truth. I know that. What about you? If you're not living like Malcolm, don't talk about Malcolm. I don't talk about other people. I don't talk about other groups and their leaders and what they believe. I don't talk negatively about Marcus Garvey, the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. I don't talk negatively about Brother Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. I don't speak negatively about our elders and our leaders. Who the hell are you? Who are you? This is some damn Instagram social media soft nonsense. Most people on social media have never been in the streets. Never in your life been in the street. Never in your life faced down the guns from the police. Never in your life stopped gangs from killing each other. Never in your life. Never. So because of that, you type and it's very easy. But this social media stuff makes people very soft. Like I cover in chapter 2 of my book. But I was born in the street doing this work. I was not born on social media. A lot of people y'all know were born on social media. Next question. Somebody said, oh, no, I'm calm. Trust me, I'm definitely calm. Somebody said, chill, y'all funny. White man tries to distract us. Yeah, they try. Why only 1 meal a day is this fasting? 1 meal is what is for an optimum level of processing, nutrient retention, etc. Overwhelming the body's digestive system overworks it. It overworks the heart, pumps too much blood. It causes the stomach to continue to work and overwork. Your body has to be able to process all the food, then detox itself, then replace the skin, the bones, the muscles, the tendons, etc. So eating 1 full meal is standard for the longest longevity when it comes to living a longer, healthier life. That's what the science of the 1 meal is. And if you really start to go even beyond that, and you start to grow beyond that, you're giving your body this break to heal and detox and build. Then you'll go from 1 meal a day to 1 meal every other day. Don't try that, but gradually move into it. Get the book How to Eat to Live 1 and 2 by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. How to Eat to Live, book 1 and 2 by Elijah Muhammad. That's for longevity. Recently, I have not been doing 1 meal a day because I've been on a build regimen. I have a goal to reach for a certain body size. And as I'm building up to that body size, I'm also cutting as well. So I'm doing a lot of cardio, a lot of weights, a lot of calisthenics as well, a lot of martial arts training. So basically, I'm increasing in size a little more, multiplying the definition by about 3 or 4 times, enhancing the speed and elasticity. So I'm keeping my martial arts physique. Big, muscular, extremely toned, defined, quick, powerful, strong. You got to have an optimum specific type in your mind. You have to have a body type in your mind. You have to have a goal in your mind that you want to reach. You have to have a goal that you want to reach. Trust me when I tell you that. And I'm really not playing. Like you have to know where you want to be in the next 6 months to a year. Physically, where do you want to be? How much do you want to be able to lift? How fast do you want to be able to run? How long do you want to be able to run cardio wise? You have to have a goal here. You got to put it together here. That's why I don't drink or smoke. It messes me up. And like I said, I haven't drank or smoked since I was 9 years old. But it doesn't benefit me. Period. What's the best way to gain weight? 1, you have to eat. Of course, you have to eat. For me, what I've had to do, because my metabolism is so fast, what I've had to do, because I have certain goals. Let me answer this question real quick. Are you willing to work with the gang members in New York? Of course. I know a lot of brothers and sisters who are from different gangs in New York. Definitely. You got to throw those hands just as fast as you can. Oh, just as fast as I'm tall. Yeah, I got you. Let me see. Who is it? Zarifa, you are hilarious. Nah, if you really knew how disgusted I was with alcohol and weed, trust me when I tell you, you wouldn't even say that. So I know you're being funny, but seriously, if you know how disgusted I am, I've worked with people for years, alcoholics and drug addicts. So majority of my life is working with people on drugs and alcohol and getting them off of drugs and alcohol. So I really hate alcohol. Like, I really do. But if you're trying to gain weight, you're going to have to eat clean, but you're going to have to eat more food. High levels of protein, low carb, to a degree. High levels of protein, decent level of carbs, close to no fats, really. No negative fats. And stay away from most sugars. I have to stay away from most sugars. So what I have to do to get to the goal that I want to reach, I'm at 231 right now. 231, fairly defined, solid. I'm very quick still. You don't want to sacrifice speed when you're lifting weights. If you're lifting weights, you do not want to sacrifice speed. So make sure you keep in the cardio and keep the stretching up. Keep your stretching up. I've had to increase in my plant protein intake as well. So I've been eating 2 meals a day along with 1 plant protein shake, which has some fruits, vegetables. I take my multivitamins, my multi-minerals, herbs, and water, spring water, and I do my best to drink almost half a gallon of water a day. So clean. Lots of fruits, lots of vegetables. And you got to work out every other day, if not every day, depending on what body types or body parts you're working on. Upper body one day, lower body the next day, abs every day, stretch every day, cardio every day. Yeah, that's pretty much standard. Love Lupe Fiasco, yeah. It's a lot of herbs to take. It's too many for me to even name right now, but it's a whole lot of them. So we're gonna tap in because I'm on the front lines every day as Revolutionary Crip. DM me out. Yeah, let me know. DM me, bro. They're blocking my live. Yeah, this is true. Do you make your shakes with frozen fruit? Sometimes, yes. Some organic frozen fruit, yes. Do I eat meat? Yes. I eat fish, not tilapia. That is a farm-raised fish. But I do eat salmon. I eat bass, cod, trout, a few different fish for the majority. Rarely, but I'll eat chicken every now and then. I don't like it, but every now and then I may eat some chicken. The majority of my meat protein is fish. And it is not from the shores here in America. And it's not from the shores in Japan either. Okay, so organic fruit, whether even if it's frozen or raw, I do my best to get the unfrozen organic fruit. Lots of different fruits, you know, from peaches to pears and all of that. You want to eat seeded melons. So watermelon that I eat is seeded. You gotta find seeded watermelon with black seeds, not seedless. It helps to stabilize the blood sugar levels. If you want to get sugar, eat fruit to get that natural amount of sugar. Maybe once a week, or, you know, I may eat like a cookie or something every now and then, but I do my best to stay away from that kind of sugar, and I stick to fruit. There's a couple places you can get some good fish from. Make sure it's wild caught, and make sure the location that they received the fish from is not in the shores that are here. Go to a farmer's market to get your vegetables and fruits. Farmer's market from local farmers for the majority. Farmer's market. Search up the local farmer's market in your city. And if you have EBT or food stamps, most farmer's markets receive or they accept food stamps. Yes, black seed oil is good. Sea moss is good. Bladderwrack is good. High doses of vitamin C are good. Spirulina chlorella. Let's see. Soursop. Very good. Moringa powder. Very good. Moringa is a whole food. It's very good. The herb, I'm saying moringa. Very, very good for the body. It's a lot of different ones. So I'm about to hop off here in a second, y'all. I'm definitely about to hop off here in a second. For those of you who were asking earlier when it came to me and having a college degree or not, remember chapter 4, the college educated versus the autodidactic. Autodidactic is what your brother is. Autodidactic. Link in the bio, link in the bio, link in the bio is a definite. Oh, now, yeah, they really are blocking my live. That's crazy. All right, so I appreciate y'all, family, because now they're really like blocking. I can't see y'all comments. I'm gonna go. I appreciate y'all. Make sure you click the link in my bio to get your book. And I have fun talking to y'all tonight, man. I'm working out in the morning. I'm getting up early. Y'all need to get up early as well. Get up early, work out. Get up early, work out. We'll see y'all soon. Peace. Assalamu alaikum.